obviously there's some pretty sharp suits. I hear the lining's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's the line look like? We got the Pat Tillman Leadership Council. Oh, that's awesome stuff.
Everything PT 42.
So obviously, quite an honor to be voted by your peers to be a member of the Leadership Council.
Right.
What did that recognition mean to you when you first realized that you'd be joining that council?
It meant the world, really, that my brothers look at me in that esteem. Didn't change anything. I'm still the same person. Still try to lead them the same. Still try to let other guys lead, listen to other guys. Not bigger than our standards. So yeah.
How does it feel to kind of? Have you seen like your leadership style kind of grow? Kenny mentioned that the guys on this year's council kind of by example types, rather than being the most vocal guys in the room.
Yeah, I feel like we all have similar traits to where like we know how to adjust. Like we know the guys we gotta talk to a certain way. We know the guys we gotta just lead by example. We know the guys we gotta build relationships with in order to talk to them that way, because that's how they respond to it. So I would say the biggest thing is just building relationships, because then you learn how to lead a guy.
And then, when you made the transfer over here from Kentucky, did you ever think that you'd be a media day representative, a face of the Sun Devil program?
Nah, it's crazy. It's just an honor to be here, really.
Obviously coming off of spring ball, how are you feeling physically?
I'm getting better. A couple weeks away, about a month away from being full-fledged, ready to go with my guys. So excited.
What do you like? What jumps out to you about this tight end room? Obviously, you kind of got some young talent in there, like a guy like AJ, a veteran in there. You bring over a transfer, from Tulane. So how does that room stacking up top to bottom?
I would say we all balance each other up. Balance each other out. I would say we got the same mindset, which is like selfless. We want to do anything for our team, whether it's run game, pass game, just get it done for the guys.
They say tight end's the quarterback's best friend. Of course, the quarterbacks are going to be, competing to get that QB1 job.
Right.
How have you seen that group before kind of, work to build that chemistry with the tight ends and with the rest of the offense?
I would say the most exciting thing I can say about that room is just the way they compete. I feel like it's bled into every other position, because really in every position is competition. Nobody really has a solidified position. So I would say seeing those guys in there compete and just like thinking the quarterback's competing, we should all be competing. Yeah.
Coming off of your first season as a Sun Devil, what were some of the things that you were able to take away from 2025 that might position you well for 2026?
I would say 2025 made me professional. I would say just honing in on the things that I do wrong. That was something I really wasn't doing a good job at earlier in my career. I would only when I would get extra work, I would only focus on the things I do good and just stay comfortable, I would say. But I would feel like last season made me get uncomfortable, because I got tired of hearing the word potential, and I just really honed in on the things that I'm not good at. So I was
And so turning that potential into production is obviously the ultimate challenge for any player. How do you feel that heading just a couple weeks away from fall camp, that you're now healthy, or on the track to get healthy, and year 2 in this offense? How do you feel that you position yourself to start producing like that?
I feel like it's gonna be exciting. I don't want to say too much, but yeah, it'll be exciting.